Hi, I'm Andy and welcome to my channel about crypto. This will be just a very short video with an update on the current market situation. So let's have a look at Bitcoin first. So the first thing to talk about, of course, is this nice move up we had a couple of days ago. If we measure it, it was I think around 18-19%, something like that, which pretty much perfectly matched this dip we had right here. So we are back to the prices where we were in mid-September, around 47-48k, and it looks like this period of week or just over a week here was the test of the 20-week SMA, the test we've been talking about pretty much since Bitcoin went above its bull market support level, so above 20-week SMA, which is this purple line here, and that was in early August. Since then we largely stayed above it. We had 1 or 2 weeks that got close to that level, or in some exchanges maybe reached that level, but we didn't really had a proper test. Certainly those few days can be considered a test of the bull market support band. So does it mean that this is the beginning of the bull run? Quite likely, yes. If we zoom out to the last time we had a test of bull market support band, which was right here, roughly same time last year. What we had right now is quite similar to this test here, those few days here. And after that, you can see we had a move up, a couple of days higher up, another short retest, a bit of sideways movement, and then a move up, which if we zoom out, that was then the beginning of the massive move up until the end of the year, then slight dip, and then continued move up at the beginning of this year. So it's not unreasonable to assume that we are somewhere in this stage of the current market cycle. It's possible that we may get another test, but personally I think there's pretty good chance that from this point onwards we'll just go up. It may not happen immediately. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a bit of sideways movement for a few days. There is clearly resistance around 48-49k. We've been struggling to get above that for the last few days. I mean, we had a week to almost 50k, or certainly above 49k, but you can see that the last couple of candles are pretty much identical. So I wouldn't be surprised if we'll see something similar to what we had here, where we were range bound for a couple of weeks and we were really struggling to get above 50k. I think once we can break above 40k level, as in have multiple daily closes above 48k and certainly above 50k, that's a good sign that it may be the beginning of a move up. Until we clearly break above that 48 to 50k band, I think we'll just remain range bound for potentially another couple of weeks. But overall, it looks really promising. Of course, there's no guarantee that there won't be another dip, but after this test, I think it's very, very likely that the prices will go up. And also, it's the time of the year that's usually quite bullish for Bitcoin. September, historically, it's been rubbish month for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6. September has been a bad month for Bitcoin. And then from October onwards, generally, the market is much more bullish. So yeah, I'm really optimistic for the next few weeks and months. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. When it comes to ETH, of course, that also went up as Bitcoin went up. We touched briefly, I think, 3.5 grand or almost 3.5 grand. With ETH, I expect it to perform well, but not necessarily outperform Bitcoin over the next few months. If anything, I would expect Bitcoin to go up first and then ETH to follow, unless there are some big changes to to how Ethereum blockchain operates. If ETH 2.0 is actually deployed, then well, of course that can change things quite a bit, but until then I expect it to largely follow what Bitcoin does. And ADA, well, ADA has been going sideways, or if anything slightly down, for quite a while now. And even the last few days, it certainly didn't perform as well as Bitcoin or ETH. And that's understandable. We've been talking about this for the last few weeks, that basically since the deployment of smart contracts on Cardano blockchain, we will likely see few weeks or months of sideways movement. Well, essentially the whole ecosystem has to prove itself. We need to see some proper functionality. And I think there are a lot of bullish news coming out regarding Cardano blockchain. I think it will deliver, but at the same time I also think it will take time. And I don't expect it to go parabolic until, well, to be honest, until 2022. Of course, if Bitcoin goes up, I expect Cardano to follow, but it may be at slightly slower pace. I mean, at this point, no one is going to get excited about Cardano hitting $3 or even $4. I mean, we hit $3.10 roughly, I think, before. So I think $5-6 ADA and above, that's what people are looking for, but or that's what people are waiting for. But I think it may take us a while to get to those levels. So yeah, I expect Cardano to reach probably $3, $4, maybe $5 by the end of this year, but I think the actual proper move up will be next year. And to be honest, I would expect it to be quite late next year, maybe around summer or even later than that. Other than this, the market overall has been picking up over the last few days. Total market cap is close to 2.2 trillion. And I think the projects that need particular attention are all sorts of gaming related projects. There's been more and more talk about crypto gaming, play to earn gaming, picking up and becoming more and more important. And I think this is something that will take quite a while as new games are being developed and gaining more popularity. But I think this is certainly the next big trend in a similar way. We had DeFi summer last year. We had a couple of instances of massive spike in NFTs this year. First during the bull run earlier in the year, and then during the summer. And there's still a lot of interest in NFTs. Gaming, I think it's only just picking up. If you look at something like Axie Infinity, which was performing really, really well, that just doubled in price in the recent days. If we look at last 90 days, in the summer it was trading at barely 1/10 of the current price, slightly above it. Then it started picking up in August. It reached quite high level, very high level of around $70 or somewhere between $70 and $80 from mid-August onwards, and it roughly stayed at that level. And then in the last few days, literally with less than a week, it doubled in price and it's now around $150. So that's just one example. CD5 Fund, it's another project I mentioned a couple of times and project I'm really bullish on. It's a launchpad for gaming projects. And since I started talking about it, it went up probably about 20 to 30%, depends what price you exactly look at. I started talking about it when it was below $3. It hit $4 earlier today or yesterday, but it's still below its previous all-time high. And what's great about it is, of course, if you invest in CD5, you're not only counting on that token going up in value. Also, if your investment is large enough, you have opportunity to take part in the launchpads, in IGOs, and then of course you can potentially have really nice gains from those new games. And as gaming is picking up overall, of course these are likely to become more and more valuable. So yeah, I'm still very bullish on this one, and I think it will perform really, really well in the next few months. Altura, it's another project I mentioned a few times here on my Twitter. It dipped a bit recently, but it's still roughly twice the price it was when I started talking about it. And at some point it was roughly 3 times the price. But again, it's one of those projects which I think will perform really well in the next few months. I think these are the projects, in general, majority of the gaming projects that you invest in now, but they don't really hit their full potential until, well, probably early next year or maybe even later next year, depending on a particular project and their timeline. So basically at the moment, my interest is mainly in Bitcoin, ETH, Cardano, although I'm not adding much to those bags. I'm adding a little bit of Bitcoin every now and then, but not much. Everything else I'm investing in at the moment is essentially around gaming, whether it's gaming and NFTs like Altura, or something that's purely gaming like Axie. I don't personally hold any Axie, but I'm looking at other play-to-earn games, or something like gaming focused launchpads like CD5, because I think that there's a huge potential in all those areas for growth. Some of them will be picking up quite a lot in the coming weeks. Others, it may take a few months, but that just shows how early we are to the game, and no pun intended, and how much potential there is for growth for the next few months. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. So the main thing is we're looking at Bitcoin breaking above 48 to 50k band. Once it goes above that level, I think it will be just a straight move up. Well, not straight, but we'll keep moving up to hitting the previous all-time high and then breaking above it. Until that happens, of course, we are likely to be range bound in that 48 to 50k band. But at the same time, as the market is getting more and more bullish, and certainly with Bitcoin holding its support level, I think it's a great time to invest in altcoins because they will likely start picking up from this point onwards as the sentiment is changing and everyone's becoming more bullish. People will be investing more and more in those altcoins. So basically, next few days and weeks may be the last time to pick up those tokens at really good prices. After that, it's likely to be just a parabolic move up. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. Thank you very much for watching. If you find these videos helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, if you have any comments, please do let me know, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.